Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to be taking a look at and unboxing my new DC Batman Cowl. This is Knightfall Batman, as they call him. I love to call him Azbats. So we're going to unbox him and then we're going to take a good look at him and get my live reaction, because I can't wait to open this thing. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent. Today we're going to be unboxing this Batman Knightfall Batman Cowl. I'm super excited about this. This is the character that got me into comics. This is Armored Batman, 90s Batman, Jean Paul Valley Batman, Azbats Batman. You know him and hate him. I love him. Whatever. When they announced this, I was super excited. This is part of their Batman Cowl line. There's 3 on the back of the box here, other than the one that we're going to open. They got Batman Who Laughs, Batman Cough, or Batman Red Sun, The Dark Knight. They have The Dark Knight Batman Cowl from the movie. They also have The Dark Knight Returns Batman Cowl from the comic book by Frank Miller. They have a Arkham Asylum Batman Cowl with like the really long ears from the video game. So there's a ton of different ones available, and most of them have like this open mouth design. And since this one is a full helmet, I immediately, other than it being Azrael Batman, immediately jumped at this. But here's the box. I've zoomed everything back a little bit so you get a little bit more of the man cave view than you've seen before, but it's mainly so that you can see me look at this with the eyes on the first time. So like any other statue I've unboxed on this channel, I have taken the wrapping off the box. I have taken the styrofoam out and just pre-cut along the tape. I have not opened it or anything, so you're going to see my first time reaction actually viewing it and holding it. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go to the wall over here and do our up-close turnarounds and really have me examine it and talk about it that way. So I'm super excited. Let's get to this. So first thing you notice, you got these full pictures on the side. This is probably like zoomed in. It's probably not this big. It's kind of heavy, honestly. So he's pretty solid. I'm not expecting this to be feeling hollow, I guess. My favorite thing here is the bat symbol on top. This is the Azrael Knightfall Batman symbol. Like they were doing the comic books, and during Knightfall, they broke the bat symbol, so it like cracked. And then as Azrael Batman became Batman, it became like this Batman symbol. And then when you had Knight's End, when Bruce returned to take back the cowl, they had this symbol, and then it cracked. And then as the series went on, those pieces fell away on the covers to reveal the original bat symbol. So this is like the more sleek, streamlined version. So let's open this guy up. So we've got our certificate of authenticity here on the top. This is number 818 of 5,000. Looks like right here. I wish they would just put it on the bottom. I do like the way they do that on the Batman Black and White. I'm pointing to them. They're actually behind the camera. But usually they do those on like the bottom of the statue. I find that really cool because you're never going to, this might get lost if anyone ever asks. I'm going to put it in the box. I usually keep the boxes just in case I move ever, I guess. But not planning on it. But, it's just nice to have on the bottom of the statue. You can just turn it over and go, oh yeah, look. I promise this is the one. Here's the bottom of the base. Struggling with this because I'm trying to talk to them. Like, why is this so difficult before, but instead I wasn't trying to talk? Here we go. I just realized my microphone is like right next to all these sounds, so I'm sorry if it was loud. I have a lapel mic down here because I'm a pretty loud talker. Okay, so let's open them up. Did I get the right side? Looks like it. Oh my gosh, dude. This is huge. This is actually bigger than I thought. I thought maybe he would be like a third smaller. But look how big this is. This is going to look awesome on my shelf. Now I have to find a place for it. Where to grab him? Some tape here. There he is. I'm so glad this made this. So much joy. Alright, now let's zoom in and get a closer look at a different angle. Alright, now we're back with a closer look at the DC Batman Knightfall Cowl. If you see any movement on the cowl, it's because I'm standing over here and I got the window open to try and get as much light as possible on this beautiful, beautiful piece. This is actually the second time I'm recording this part of the video because I received a text message and it kind of deleted it, I guess. So maybe my problem is your gain because maybe this one will be shorter. I spent like 15 minutes just talking about my love of Azrael and Batman again, even though I'd done it on the little minifigure we did earlier in the week, last week. But anyway, so let's take a look at him. So first of all, before we dive into where this guy comes from and all that other stuff, which I love talking about, let's do a turnaround for him. So you got the Batman cowl here. You have the point here. This is actually sculpted. You have the face, the eyes, which is actually like one piece all the way around. You have like a targeting reticle over here, and then the fins, I guess we'll call them, on the sides here. So, and then you have the neck, which looks like that, and then you have the flashlight collar, and then the plate with the type of Batman it is, Knightfall, and the bat symbol from that era. Now, to nitpick, this is not a Knightfall Batman cowl. It's really not. This cowl first debuted in the storyline called Batman Night Quest. This is actually volume 2. This is where it appears in the trades. This is the newer printing of these. So volume 2, it's got all the spines where it's like 9 volumes from where Bruce gets his back broken in Prelude or Knightfall, Prelude to Knightfall, all the way through the Prodigal and Troika stuff. So the original Bat Cowl was just kind of this mask with Batman. You can see it in these two panels here, where it's just kind of like, looks very cloth and some red eyes, lenses and stuff. Everything else is armor about him except the helmet. So he gets his butt beat in Shadow of the Bat number 25, facing this Acid Man. I can't really remember what that guy's name is, but I had this actual issue for the longest time, and I love this issue because it ends with Jean-Paul Valley basically going like, I need to be stronger, and it ends on this page where I think this was actually like you turned it like this. Yes. It wasn't just a single page in the comic, that's why they had the black bars, but you turned it like this, and then you had a poster, basically, the last page of this new Batman suit. So this is actually this cowl. As you can see, this is like midway through this trade paperback, so, you know, pretty far into the Crusade storyline. So I don't know why they call this Knightfall Batman. They should really just put like Azbats Batman or Night Quest Batman, but Jean-Paul Valley Batman, but whatever. He's always, anytime you have Jean-Paul Valley represented in toys or whatever, there's probably like an edict somewhere where they say, okay, we're going to call him Knightfall Batman because that's what it's from. Even though he became this Batman and even the precursor to this costume at the very, very end of Knightfall. But we're nitpicking it to death, I know. But, you know, true collectors will know. So anyway, most of the time in the comic books, you didn't really see this whole lot of blue. It depended on the artist, really. A lot of artists like to color this in to just be black, so you just had the forehead here, the eyes, the lens, and the fins, and this would be black, whereas other artists would show it to you. So like this corner page here, it's all black in the middle, and they can see how it's like overhanging, and then you get a different artist. My iPad's going off over there. That's why I turned off my notifications. It will make so much dang noise. Here's, and then here, look at that. Now it's blue, you know, so there you go. This is actually a little bit interesting the way they sculpted it. Like, it's drawn just kind of flat, you know, I guess, and then they actually put in this edge to it right here, which, depending on the artist, is the way it was drawn. So they must have picked a few of them and gone with that. I don't mind. I think it looks awesome. So here's kind of how it mostly looks like in my mind anyway. Anytime I drew him as a little kid, I drew him kind of like this because I had this issue where he goes up against Gunhawk with the and gets his ass beat before he gets all the blade capes. So he goes up against Gunhawk, gets his ass beat, and then comes out with these blade cape things, and that's the action figure I have over here on my shelf. And but that's really the only thing that changed in the costume. He had some shuriken stuff to like his gauntlets. The helmet stays the same, but the blade cape thing is what's really new about it. And he uses it like armor. He gathers it around him to make a shield, so that Gunhawk can't shoot him up. But anyway, we're here to look at this statue and not talk about Azrael Batman, which I can do for hours, simply because it was my first like real Batman comic I read in the late 90s after it was all over. Got a couple of those issues in like a little packet booklet thing, and just fell in love with this zany, angular design of Batman. So there's our turnaround there. I love you can see the armored collar here, and they painted it so it looks kind of, like it's brass or something, kind of burnished up. It's been through some shit. There's this weird texture on this part of the base here. You can see it actually kind of going diagonally that way at a slight angle. And that also goes on the top of the base. It's not straight across. It is at an angle too. So maybe they looked at this and said, this is a really angular Batman. Let's do this angled texture on the base. The bottom part is just like a regular kind of fake faux wood grain texture. It's not the same as the one up top, but it does kind of feel a little bit similar to it, but not quite. So I really love this piece. I really do. It is so cool. The only thing I didn't realize until they showed it off is that this bump on his forehead, he's targeting retina in my mind is what it is. But they made it stick out, which every other time it just kind of looked like something behind glass. But I guess if you're actually wearing a helmet and you put like some sort of sensor, you would have to put it on top of the actual armor, or unless you were going to make the armor bigger. So maybe that's what this is. I don't know. I haven't read all of the Night Quest comics yet, so shoot me. I'm not a true expert. There's probably bigger fans out there that know actually what the purpose of that is. But it's pretty cool. So my one complaint about this, is this seam. And you can kind of see it on the top here. We'll finish turning them around. It runs side to side, but only on the top part. I don't know if it's sculpted or if this is something that came out of the way they molded it and produced these line of statues. But this is actually an angle. It's not a seam right here on the fin. This looks like a seam, and it goes all the way across and down the other side, but it doesn't go through this piece. So I don't understand. And maybe this looks sculpted. There are two seams back here. You can kind of see here. So I don't know if they did two halves of the helmet and then put the fins on. It doesn't look that way, simply because when you turn it at an angle, maybe they filled it in right there. But there's no seam there. I mean, why would you fill it in if you're trying to hide a seam? But this giant one on the top of his head. So it's just kind of weird because they have the sculpted angle here that comes down that makes him really mean looking. That goes up all the way up through the seam here. I'll try and show it to you. There you go. All the way to the top of his ear. All the way up this angle. It's really, really hard to see unless you're in person. But it's a really cool way to hide a seam if you were to do that. Or just sculpt it. To make it make sense. I think that works. But I don't know why they have this here. Why not fill it in? I don't really know how. They never really showed Jean Paul taking his mask off in pieces. It was always kind of one big helmet, the way the Master Chief helmet replicas are, or the Doom Guy helmet replicas are. Just stick it over your head, like a regular full face mask helmet. Because they had it sitting on tables and stuff like that in the comics, but never in pieces. So I don't know what this seam is. So that's my one thing I don't like about it, my one nitpick. The number of the statue is on the bottom. It's not just on the certificate, which is nice. So this is 818 of 5,000, made in China. Does it have coronavirus? I don't know. I'm going to go wash my hands here. That's a terrible joke. It probably doesn't. It's probably overseas for, a while. And I know for a fact this was shipping or sitting in a warehouse in Indiana because I ordered it through DCB Service and chose a once monthly shipping. So it's at least sitting there for 3 weeks. So I figure I'm safe. But this full-on front look is awesome. Look at that. It's got a little like black here in the middle of this sculpted seam, I guess, to kind of give it, burnishing or whatever. It's also got some here. It's kind of hard to see in the daylight, but it's there. And then the top of his head has also got some black kind of accent painting around it, so it's just not this flat metallic thing. But it's awesome. Got some little accents in the light there, the flashlight. It's cool. I love these plaques. I think these plaques are really cool. So the other statues, they all have the same plaque of what type it is: Batman Who Laughs, Arkham Asylum, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Returns, blah, blah, blah. And then they all have a different bat symbol next to them. So if I were to buy more, which I'm not really planning on doing, you could have them all sit next to each other and have these plaques and show like their different bat symbols. And I think that is a really cool thing to distinguish them. I bought this one because it is Azrael Batman, because it's Azbats. I love that. And I'm following my unwritten rule of buy everything Azbats you can to show that, they should make more. Support it if you love it, kind of thing. And I want more of his action figures. If they want to do a McFarlane action figure of any of his costumes, go for it. I'll buy it for sure. If they do a Batman black and white statue of Azrael or Azbats, I would love it. I'll buy it. Go ahead, please, and thank you. I would love it. The other ones they almost look a little bit smaller to me because I've seen some YouTube videos of them, and they look a little bit smaller, but I really think this is him next to, where's Batman Cough? Batman Cough Funko Pop, This is a full head, and the other cowls, they're not half that per se, but they have that wide open mouth. So depending on the size of the cowl, you have like this giant black space in the middle. And I think they're cool, but I don't think I'm going to pick up any more because I don't like that black space. Like, I would rather just have a Batman bust, call it, and just put a face on there, put a chin on there. Whoever's chin you want to put on there, go ahead. But I love this one so much because it is a full helmet and it looks almost like a bust instead of the cowl, the way that the line really is. I prefer this. And you have the added benefit, the other ones don't have this as well, of the neck armor and the flashlight collar also being here. I don't know why they chose to go that route. Compared to the other ones, he's way more of like full figured than some of the other ones. It's kind of bizarre, but I'm glad they did it. I love this piece. I love it. I'm so happy to have it. It's kind of heavy. It's got some heft to it, which makes it make me feel like it's a solid piece of resin, concrete, plastic, whatever they make these things out of. It's not these little vinyls. These are really light, but I think this is hollow. It's the Chris Umiga one. So I'd say this guy's probably got to be like 9 inches tall, maybe. I don't have an action figure in reach. Maybe I do. But yeah, he's got to be like 9-10 inches tall. He's not quite a foot. So if you've got a foot of clearance on a shelf somewhere, you could definitely pick this guy up and fit him up there. If it's strong, it's heavy. It's not light. But yeah, I love it. I'm in love with it. I'm so happy to look at it and add it to my collection. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you love Azrael Batman as much as I do. Let me know if you want to see me do more unboxings. I don't know if I have any more coming up, just because this is like the last thing I was really ordering, unless there's some awesome Batman black and white statue that I'm going to add to my line. But or another Azrael thing, who knows. I do know that they have the Prime 1 Azrael Knightfall Batman statue, but that thing's like $1,500 and 3 feet tall. I've seen a YouTube video of some guy unboxing it, and he's in love with it as much as I am Azrael Batman. And I forgot the name of the channel was, but it was enormous. I simply do not have the room. Like, I could probably sit it on this piece here, But I don't want to do that because I specifically bought this piece to do these types of unboxings and to put stuff in front of me when I'm standing up doing my videos. That's really what this is for. It's not really for any other purpose. But it is a cool idea. But $1,500 is a lot of money. I picked this guy up for $55 because he was on sale on dcpservice.com the month that he was available for pre-order months and months ago. But I think normally he runs between $80 and $90. So, but for $80 and $90, I would have been super happy with this as well. I'm even more ecstatic because I got it at a discount. But $80, $90 for an Azrael Batman piece, which we might never see again, it's freaking awesome. So I think the value on this is pretty cool because it's so heavy, because you have a full face mask, because of the way the design is, because you have the neck, because you have the flashlight collar, all that stuff I think really adds to the value of this, as opposed to those other Batman cowls which simply are the mask and an empty face, which I've said I don't like. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Here's another outro. Let me know down below what you think of this piece, what you think of Azrael Batman, the storyline, my love for it. Is it silly? Is it ridiculous? Let me know down below. And we will see you guys next time in the funny pages.